again, these 4 to 5 that I'm going to share with you, I've literally experienced them, but I've also seen them as common themes that hold people back. And I want to share them with you so that you'll be aware of them and you can break past these barriers to really achieve the goals and the things that you desire in your own life. Okay, so if you're taking notes, number 1 is we have this tendency whenever it comes to setting goals is it's up front. The barrier is right at the beginning. We have this tendency to set goals based on what we already know we can accomplish, right? We'll take a look at last year, and based on last year, we'll say, well, I think I can do 10% better than last year. I think last year, we built out over $2 million. Well, this year we can grow by 10%. And it's not really based on anything other than what we've already done in the past. And where I really see people kind of trip up and fall at is they fall into this comparison trap, right? We start to compare ourselves to other people. We may see somebody that's in our industry that's a little bit further down the path than we are. Maybe we know somebody that's pretty successful and we look at them and we say, well, I'm not like that. Maybe they're in a better location. Maybe they've got more resources. Maybe they know the right people. And really what we do is we compare ourselves to other people and really make excuses, right? Or we look at people that maybe we are a little bit further in front of, and we'll kind of say, well, at least I'm not like that Cory Lee guy. I know I'm better than that guy. And we really get complacent and we get content. But I had a mentor tell me one time, he said, Cory, when you get to heaven, God isn't going to ask you, why weren't you more like Mother Teresa? He's going to ask you, why weren't you more like you? Why weren't you more like the Cory Lee that I designed and created you to be? See, there is something unique and gifted and talented about you. You, my friend, you listening right now. And I think, I think you hear something like that or you read something like that and we kind of nod our head in agreement. And some level we know that's true, but do you know that's true for you? Right? I think we'll nod our head and we know it's true because we see other people and we think it's true for other people. But I'm telling you, my friend, that is true for you as well. So recognize your own giftedness and don't compare yourself to other people. But the bigger trap, the even bigger comparison trap that I see us falling into is we compare ourselves to our current results. Right? We'll have this big idea, this inspired idea that comes into our mind, and we'll take a look at this big idea and we'll look at our current results and we say, well, that doesn't match, right? Those don't match. This idea and this goal, man, that's too big. I ain't never done nothing like that before. That's just too big. But let me ask you this. The room that you're sitting in, is that room big or small? Or if you're driving down the road listening to this, is your car big or small? Well, it depends, right? It depends. If you're like me and you drive a GMC Acadia and I compare it to a Honda Civic, well, my GMC Acadia is pretty big, right? But if I compare that same GMC Acadia to my friend's F-250 work truck, a GMC Acadia is actually kind of small, right? The car didn't change. It didn't get taller or get shorter or anything like that, but what I compared it to changed. It's the same thing with this big idea or this inspired idea. It's not big or small, it just is. And when we take a look at it and we compare it to our current results and we say they don't match, well, they're not going to match. Our current results are coming from our past performance, while this inspired idea is coming from our future potential, right? So we don't want to compare ourselves to our current results. We compare ourselves to our potential, and that potential is infinite. So our mistake number 1 is we set goals based off of things we already know we can accomplish, and typically because we fall into this comparison trap. Number 2 is incorrect use of imagination.